2008 Saturn wheel, wheel speed sensor, passenger rear. Should be the same as the driver rear. Pulling the wheel off your first mission. There is the plug right here. To get to it, let me turn this light on. You see it right there, the boot. So you have no access from here. You're going to have to pull the rotor off, which has the park and brake shoes underneath. So first step, going to be popping this free, and then pulling the caliper off to get the rotor to slide off. So we'll be doing that. There's this here. It's a T30. I always like to tap rather than brute force. It's like an impact effect, a lot less stress. So, T30 is what I got this off with. Torx. That's off. Next thing to do is pull the caliper off. So it's a 15, of course. Let me reposition the cam. You have two 15 mil bolts, one on right here and one on the back side. I'll move the camera again to show that. But what I'm doing is taking a rubber mallet to my ratchet, break it free. A lot easier than breaking your knuckles, trying to free it up. I'll keep doing that until it's loose enough where I can use hand strength. I do need to go get something to tie up the caliper. So I do need to release the e-brake. I do have the e-brake on. So right now there's going to be tension on this one. This is the caliper here. Okay, should be able to get this off my hand. Yep. Okay, somebody put some red Loctite on there. So now let me get you over to the back side. Camera might be a little too high for. Let's see here. I'm trying to turn the light on. Okay, should be right. It's right here. It's not this one. It's this bottom one. Okay, what I had to do is just go get a cheater bar. So they're tight. Mine's got red thread locker on it, which should have blue. I'm not a fan of red, especially on caliper where you change the brace. That's not too smart. So, lesson learned. Unless you take the shock off, break it free, get it loose enough to use a wrench on it, and that'll save y'all a headache. So, it's kind of cold outside. It's snowy. And more red Loctite. So, this Actually, I'll get lucky on this car. Can set up right there. So this is pretty nice. Okay, next up I gotta pull off the parking brake and pull the rotor off. Now, I had a hell of a time getting the rim off. Actually, I had to get on the backside with a rubber mallet and tap it. It's really tight on the hub. Build up, it gets on here and it gets stuck. So I want to sand that, or I took a wire brush to it. But the rotor is going to have the same problem, I'm willing to bet. So sprayed some good PB blaster, have something handy to at least get in there. You're going to need every assistance you can get. I'm probably going to have to go get my metal sledge and bang this. Also, don't know the age and the quality of the parking brakes. If they're bad, I'm going to replace them, or the shoes for the parking brakes. So e-brake, whatever you want to call it. So when I pull this off, I will look at those as well. So beat it. Just watch your caliper, make sure it doesn't go flying off. Just tap. Just barely tap the back of the rotor like I did. I'll show you right here. I just tapped here with a rubber mallet and I got it loose. Just be gentle, or you're going to be buying a new rotor. So, take this off. Alright, I'm real happy to see the parking brake shoes are in good shape. I'm really surprised. Two things that reason that they're in good shape is most people don't even use them anymore. Even when they park on the hill, they let their tranny hold all the weight and get that massive clunking noise. When they put it in gear, should always use your parking e-brake on any kind of hills on your trannies. There you can actually see it now. Let me turn the light on. The sensor is right there. See the little Allen nut? So that's your wheel sensor, roll speed sensor, which is your ABS. If that goes bad, like this one did, you'll have your ABS light on. ABS will be turned off, and your traction control will be turned off. Looks like I'm gonna get rained on. Lovely. So to get to that, you gotta take this one shoe off. So I've never done this before. Keep in mind, it's the first time I've even pulled this wheel off on this vehicle. I've never in my life worked on one of these. So I'm just going by experience that I've had doing many others. So this little spring here. So this here, almost every vehicle I've worked on, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever. They all use the same kind of pin, goes through the back side with some kind of clip. This one looks like you're just gonna have to push it and turn it. Okay, now with this clip, the easiest way is going to be grabbing a pair of needle nose. There's a divot on both sides. Just put it on one of them. You're going to push in, grab your needle nose on there, and you're going to turn it. It'd be easy if I had a longer screwdriver. Okay, here we go. My hands are probably going to get in the way. There it is there. So just right here, put the screwdriver on one side, grab your needle nose and turn. That's probably going to be hilarious to put back on. So now I need to grab these springs off. Okay, the way I got this spring off, I'm trying to put this camera on my lap here, get it to focus. Come on. There it is. Push my screwdriver right here. That expanded it. Then I grabbed the needle nose, pulled it, and the spring came out. So simple as that. There's that. Now I get the best of the bottom one. Bottom one looks like it's just going to be as fun. It's going to be more hilarious putting on. Zoom out. Now I gotta do the bottom one. Bottom one is right here. Okay, what I did was I took the screwdriver and put it underneath the spring, and I just hit it and then turned it clockwise and it popped right out. Now this pad, this shoe pad can slide out now. Now you have access to your speed sensor right there, and there's a rubber boot. So I'm going to take that out and then I'm going to unplug it as well. Unplugging it, there's this tab right here. Just pull on it and pull back. Comes out. You see how it goes right here behind it. Goes into that rubber boot. Let's see if I can push this rubber boot back. It's hard to do with one hand. Alright, so anyways, there it goes. And we got it. It's pushing this rubber boot right here. Don't really need to do that stage right now. I need to pull this Allen off here. So I'm gonna get to doing that. Hopefully I brought the right one. Camera's in the way again. And I got the right one. For your guys' info, it's a 5mm. That's what my set says. Counterclockwise. Unscrew it. The worst part of this whole entire job, I can tell you right now, is going to be getting that pad back off. It's got blue Loctite on it. The new one comes with this screw and Loctite. So I'm going to use a screwdriver to try and get this thing out of here. Should just slide right out. It may have an O-ring or something on it. It's going to wedge something in there. Watch your fingers. Yep, there's just the O-ring on there. It pops right out. For some reason, this one looks like it's been replaced recently. Which is not what I wanted to see. So I need to figure out how to get this thing out. This wire this way. There. So this looks pretty new. That's kind of scaring me because this may be having a different problem, even though the OBD2 said it was the passenger rear throwing the code. But you never know. So boot needs to go the other direction, so let's save you guys that time. Come on, get in there. Look inside here. Looking at the teeth, they look good. Sure do. no dirt in there or nothing, so I'll go grab the other sensor. Here's the other sensor. This with the grease, the screw I was telling you about, or the bolt, and the sensor. So I'm going to install it the exact same way. Let's go through here. Feed it up like so. And I'm going to actually push the boot all the way through like I did on the last one. Seemed to make it easier to get the line in, because this has to go in the other way. I'm going to put the grease on it. Should be more than enough. Get a Q-tip. I'm going to clean out the grease that was already in there. Looks like it's way too much. Trust the Q-tip. I'm going to put this in there like that. Okay. Now the fun part. Getting this back in the hole. See? It's a lot easier if you push the grommet all the way through. So then you can allow the line to bend. There. And then we'll push this down like so. Snug. You only need to torque it. It does have some glue Loctite. Bump the camera. Now you can wrestle with getting this grommet back in from the other side. So, good to go. Grommet's in. Make sure you do not skip that step. That keeps all the bad weather from getting it out. Now, I've never done this before, so this will be very interesting. Alrighty, so I'm going to attempt this first, putting the spring in on the shoe and trying to yank the shoe in place. We'll see if this is possible. I don't think it will be. Nope. Okay. So this is going to totally royally suck. I can see this coming. So it has to go in there somehow. Or no, it goes like that. That rides on there. And that gets sandwiched in there. There it goes. Okay. So now I gotta get this spring in there. This will be hilarious. I'm gonna pull this off, but probably gonna put the pin in first. Hold this in place. That's what I'll do. Okay, I got the pin in. And I'm going to attempt to put the lock on. So the shoe stays in place. It's almost like a job where you need 3 hands. Grab my needle nose. from the back. So close. Here it is there. Needle nose for the win. I know it's a lot of videos. Well, I only seen one. I think it's deleted. But doesn't show. Putting that stuff back on. I think it's because a lot of people don't like to show the hard part. I guess, I don't know. So let's see how this looks. Yeah. So we're going to put this one in now. Put this guide on. This is your adjuster. Which I don't see how. Yeah, I got it in. Alrighty. Needle nose for the win again. Same thing, got the needle nose, started it. And then I took one screwdriver and put it right there. And then I pulled back to stretch the spring. And then had another screwdriver at the same time to tap in. That's how here's the old sensor, which was replaced. Somebody replaced it at one time. Put way too much grease. Don't know. Might have damaged it putting it in. No, we're going to do a test with the meter here. Continuity. So when I put this in here, sparks up to like 1800 and it shuts off. Put it in here. Okay, so 681. There we go. So that's how you know if you have it backwards. So 680 on that. And then we're gonna go and check this one out here. Let's see if y'all can see this. I'm gonna try to hold this where you can see it at the same time. I don't know if that's possible, but let's try it. And this one is 711. So I don't know if that was just the wrong one or what the deal was. So just something there to double check. Like I said, the OBD2 did say that it was this side. So it's there. Okay. And make sure you spin this to where it's not pressing against that. I don't know if you saw that, but don't try to put it on like this. See how the line is up against there? Turn it to where the line pushes out. And then slide it in and lock it. Like so. Okay. It's that simple. What else? Looks good. Okay. Now let's put the rotor back on. Line up the little hole for the bolt. Okay. I'm going to spin this tightener a little bit while I'm here, since there's no access port from the back. I don't know why. I'm going to do it just until I can feel it hit the rotor. Just going to go a little bit more up there. got much battery left. But, you don't have to put this back in. Mine's in good shape. If your Torx bit is stripped out or in bad shape, doesn't really need this. With 90 to 100 pounds of torque or whatever it is on the lug nuts, it's don't over tighten this. A little bit past snug. Now we're gonna attempt to put the calipers back on. Ceramic pads. I spray this on the back of every pad job I've ever done. I've never had a squeal. Those are the ceramic pads though. Alright, so I got the brake fluid reservoir cap open completely. I'm going to be putting mild pressure to the piston to get it to go in for the new pads. I'll be using lovely channel locks. Pushing them in now. May have to go get my other set, or my brake set. Reason being is I need to make sure I push this piston in straight. Doing it very, very slow, low amount of pressure. Reason being is do not want to mess up anything with ABS. So make sure you have your reservoir cap. Just putting light pressure, I would say mild, probably about 5 pounds. Just letting it go in slowly. The reservoir's probably overflowing, because it looks like what somebody did on this vehicle is this added brake fluid. Now, some things people don't know is when your brake fluid's low, most of the time that's not because the evil elves came and drank it. When your pads get low, your pistons have to go out further, which puts more fluid in your pistons or in your caliper. So when your fluid is low, that's usually a sign that your pads are low. But like this vehicle is a prime example. What a lot of people do is they top off their fluid because they got a warning light or something, and that's really the wrong thing to do. You should check your pads, because most of the time it's going to be the pads are worn down and the pistons are way out, which is not that good for the calipers either to have your pistons that far. So putting the new hardware on that the pads came with. See if it's being nice to me. And right now it's not. Come on. There we go. So putting that on. Sounds like neighbors are having a blast. Looks good. So now this one's being stubborn. There it goes.
world of roller games. There's room at the top for only one. And there's only one Static X Destroyer.
Take it down!